Hello, everyone. I'm going to go over Pop Quiz 9. We're actually going to have two pop quizzes named number 9 this year. Since we're not in person, I wanted to assign an extra quiz that I used to just have on there as reference. Anyway, so this is still a step growth quiz. And this first page is questions from an old exam, and it's complete the following reactions. Okay, so remember that at the intersection of any of the lines in a skeletal drawing is a carbon atom with the correct number of hydrogens. So these are CH2, 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 CH2. There's carbon there as part of the carbonyl. And if skeletal drawings are difficult for you, feel free to just rewrite that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do when I'm going to complete this reaction, I'm going to look at what functional groups I have. I have an alcohol or a hydroxy on this end, and I have a carboxylic acid on this end. So when we have a carboxylic acid, we should all remember that the OH minus is the leaving group, and when that leaves, it's going to grab a proton from an alcohol or a hydroxy group. So once I make those slices, I can see that I'm forming H2O, water. And how many am I forming? N. So 1 per repeat unit. So I'm going to write down NH2O plus, now I have an oxygen. I can draw these as a skeletal structure, or I can write them out. I'm going to use CH2, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And then my carbonyl. Carbon needs 4 bonds, and that's going to form the ester bond that is the wraparound bond, completing the second bond that the oxygen needs, because oxygen always wants 2 bonds. Put my parentheses on and my number of repeat units. And that's the first question. So you might want to stop and think. We've got a hydroxy acid. So this is an A-B type polymerization. Okay. But if we look at the second part of this problem, the second reaction, we have 2 monomers. We have a diamine reacting with a diacid chloride. Okay, I'm going to just draw that so that we know that that AB type polymerization goes with what's above. So this is going to be an A-A+B-B type polymerization. When I see the NH2 written like that on these reactions, I always cross off the 2 and write the second hydrogen. That's just easier for me, okay? Because hopefully we all remember the leaving group for an acid chloride is the Cl minus, and I can slice those off, the Cl minuses, and now it's easier for me to slice off the proton it's going to grab as well. So now I can see HCl, HCl. So how many are we going to form? 2 per repeat unit, and we have N repeat units. 2NHCl. Plus, now I've got to think about my polymer. I'm going to write NH 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. CH2 6 times NH. Here I've got a carbonyl. I have the ring and a carbonyl. Now remember, we're going to make 2 amide bonds because we're reacting one amine with 1 acid chloride, one amine with 1 acid chloride. So the first one is in the middle. There's the first amide. The second amide bond is this one, the wraparound bond. Okay, so there is the A-A+B-B type polymerization. Okay, so there's the first question. And here is the second page of the first pop quiz, number 9. Okay, and here this is also an old exam question. What monomer or monomers were the following polymers made from? Okay, when I do these types of problems, I find where's the linkage and what is the linkage. So here is an amide linkage, and the second amide linkage is the wraparound. So if I slice that one in half and I slice the second one in half, I can quickly see I have 2 pieces. So this was made from 2 monomers. So it was an A-A+B-B type polymerization. Okay, so now if I write down NCH2 6 times, and they already have a hydrogen, so I can put that hydrogen on, and I can add a second one because I need 2 hydrogens, right? Because nitrogen needs to be bonded to 3 things. So I need an amine, a primary amine. The other way I can write it is H2, and indicating there's 2 hydrogens, just like this. And let me do the second piece. I've got carbonyl, CH2, 4 times carbonyl. Okay. Now, carbon needs 4 bonds. It needs something here. So it either needs an acid, an OH, so I have a carbonyl and an OH to make a carboxylic acid, or I can make it into an acid chloride. Both answers are equally valid. Without more information, there's no way to know what it was made from. I'm going to use acid chloride. Okay, so there's the answer to 2A. Take a look at 2B. Is there a difference between 2A and 2B? Think about it. Okay, there is no difference. They're just written different ways. So this is written as a skeletal formula as opposed to a condensed structural formula. Okay, so if I do the same thing, I slice this, I slice that, I see the 2 pieces, and I get these same answers because it is the same polymer, just written different ways. So you can see the difference, okay? And now let's go down and do problem 2C. How many linkages per repeat unit? Only one linkage per repeat unit, and it's an ester. It's an ester linkage. So if I slice that ester linkage in half and then rewrite what I have left, I can figure out what the monomer is. Now, when I'm doing synthesis, I usually have that ester split on the wraparound bond, but you don't have to, and we talked about that before in class. So I'm going to start by writing the carbonyl, and then I have CH2, 1, 2, 3, 4, CH2, 4 times, and then I have an oxygen. So an ester made from an AB type polymerization is made from a hydroxyacid. So I completed the carbon's 4th bond by adding that OH group to make the acid, completed the oxygen's 2nd bond by adding the proton or the hydrogen atom to make that complete. So I have a hydroxy acid. And that is the solutions for pop quiz number 9, the first one, the step growth pop quiz number 9.